Have you ever wondered why success seems to come so natural and easy for some people, but for others, they can't buy it? I will tell you this, I've had seasons of my life where I had momentum and things were going good, finances, business, marriage, kids. And then other times where I feel like I'm never getting that momentum back. And so if that's been you, you're not alone. I want to share this story with you that I believe, if you've never heard it before, is going to rethink everything you know about how to achieve the next level of success. So my name is Dr. Dan Sullivan. I am a brain guy. And the reason I like studying the brain is because to me, brain-based things are reproducible. So growing up, I didn't have a lot of money. I didn't have a lot of confidence or self-esteem. And so I'm always looking for ways, even if it takes effort and energy, of what do the people that have a lot of success or great family life or great finances or great impact, what do they know that I don't? And so the story is going to blow your mind if you've never heard it. But before I get there, I want to just remind you of how this works. God created the brain to selectively pay attention to what it wants to pay attention to. Example, when you found a car that you at one point wanted, what happened on your road every day or every week? You tended to what? See that car everywhere. Was that car more populated in the area you're in? Were there more of that car on the road? Clearly not. It's your brain was selectively paying attention to that car, and then you saw it everywhere. Well, this happened when my wife got pregnant for the first time. I've got a 14-year-old, and so this is 14 years ago. When she got pregnant, it was actually 15 years ago. When she got pregnant, I saw pregnant women everywhere. Why? Because I was selectively paying attention to women who were pregnant because my wife was pregnant. So it was top of mind for me, thinking about their story, thinking about how far along they were because we were going through it. So you can all share stories about that. This is the point. The point is that your brain is selectively paying attention to certain things. In fact, researchers show that we're currently in the year 2025. 100 years ago, the amount of information we had access to over a lifetime is the same amount of information that we get exposed to in 10 minutes today. Think about that. What does this say? The brain, your brain, must literally shut almost everything out just to protect itself, just to go through the day. And so I'm bringing this up. It's called selective attention. That's what psychologists call it, selective attention. The question is, what are you paying attention to? And what does this have to do with your success? Well, here's another crazy stat, is that the majority of thoughts we have in a day are negative. And those negative thoughts tend to run how people perceive us and how we make decisions. And so I want to point out, and this is the fascinating study. So this is the story goes like this. There was an individual who lived in the Midwest. He was a teenager, 16 years old. And his mom said, you have to take the SAT. He was a troublesome, horrible grades. He wanted to drop out of school. And his mom said, just take the SAT and then we'll decide from there. So he takes the SAT score and he gets the score back and he got a 1480. Now the top score for SAT, the very best, perfect, is 1600. He gets a 1480. So his mom asked him the logical question, who did you cheat off of? He said, I literally tried. You could not cheat. They made sure that you were incapable of cheating. And so time goes on and he literally starts to think, well, maybe I am smart. Gets a 1480, maybe I'm smart. He starts to hang out with a different crowd. He starts to attend class. His teachers start to say, you know what, you're actually doing better. He starts to get better grades. He goes to community college. Then he goes to an Ivy League school. He opens up a business that becomes very successful. And then something happened. And this is the punchline of the story, is he gets, every so often, I guess the SAT audits their scores. And he gets a letter in the mail. He's now married with kids at the time, very successful entrepreneur. And he gets the letter in the mail that says, we audited your year and we made a mistake. You did not get a 1480, you got a 760 on your SAT. And so think about that. Think about that. His entire life changed when he got that score. So some people say, that score changed your life. And he said this, it wasn't the score that changed my life. It was when I started acting like a 1480 SAT is when it changed my life. And so I want you to know that the wealthy get wealthier, not because they have some sort of supernatural gift or capability or access to something that you don't have access to, is they believe. And there's a certain area of the brain, this limbic center, which is the emotional center of the brain, when you start to actually train your brain to believe that you're capable, to believe that you have what it takes. But I will tell you this, as a God-fearing Christian, I'll tell you this, is that John 10:10 says, what the enemy comes to seek, to steal, and destroy. And so I believe that the enemy starts with your mind. And he's going to tell you everything you're not, everything you're incapable of, all the imposter syndrome, all the limiting beliefs. And so we have to work at this. This isn't something that comes natural to us. We are sinful by nature. And so I think by the time you're 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, you're comparing yourself to everybody else and what you don't have. And so I just want to remind you, when you start to flip the script on that. Now, for me, one of the things, and I'm not saying this is easy, and I've had my own fair share of this, but my point of this video is to help you realize what's really at stake, what's really at play when it comes to your daily thoughts. And so when you look at, Matthew 7:7 says, knock and it shall be opened, ask and it will be given, seek and you will find. And so what are you looking for, right? Selective attention. God said, I gave you a brain to find what you're looking for. Are you looking for every reason why you can't? Henry Ford said, well, you think you can or you can't. You're right. And so I want to leave you with this, because I, again, don't have this figured out, but I'm literally every day, you have to plan. You have to be intentional about your thoughts, which dictate your actions, right? Thoughts drive emotions, which dictate your actions. Your emotions drive the actions. Your thoughts drive your emotions. And so here's a powerful thing that I want you to take with you from this message. One, it's you can change your life like that. Your brain is designed. What are you believing right now to be true? When I look at Genesis 1:1, God said he created the heavens and the earth and everything, everything in it. And then Genesis 1:26-27, he created you and me in his image. That means by definition, you are built to build and created to create. So you have the capacity to create something. You have an internal locus of control, is what Carol Dweck calls it. So first off is saying, I have control of this. The second thing I want to remind you of, negative thoughts have been proven to be 4 to 7 times more powerful than positive. So if you have negative thoughts, you're literally, and they will snowball because they're so strong. But then on the other side, here's another thing that I want you to take, is that verbalizing something out loud makes it 10 times more powerful. So if you were to ever, I've done this, I've been on a golf course where I see like a dad and a child, and I just silently pray, like, when he says something bad about a child, or the child says something that he's repeating something his dad says, oh, I'm a horrible golfer, I'm a horrible putter, I'm a horrible driver, I'm bad at this. When you say something out loud, it makes it 10 times stronger. When it's negative, it makes it 4 to 7 times stronger. So a negative thing said out loud makes it 40 to 7 times stronger. Think about that. So the first thing is I never want to hear out of your mouth is something negative. And then the second thing is the thoughts are not easy to control, and that's where we have to be intentional, right? And so the takeaway message here, and I hope you're gathering this, I love the brain. You have control over your destiny, and the people that are successful are the people that control their thoughts, that drive their actions. The people that are wealthy don't have access to something you don't have access to. They just know their value, their worth, and they go act on that every single day. So I hope this video helped you. I hope that story teaches you. And you go look that lesson up, that SAT. It was a guy who went to Wichita State, I think, and then he went to Ivy League school, and he started a publishing company, and high-level success. Why? He said, it wasn't the score that changed my life. It was acting like a smart kid. It was acting like a productive human. It was acting like a successful, business owner. That's the thing that's going to change your life. So my question to you is, what are you acting like every day? It starts with your thoughts. God's got big plans for your life. Jeremiah 29:11, he will provide, right? He wants good for your life. He wants good for your life. And I just believe that when you believe that, things get better. So there it is. Dr. Dan, I'll see you on the next video.